Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 14 of the March Daily Draws. So as we start the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, followed by an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch, Ostara Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Four of Cups here. And to me, this is about we're feeling a little disinterested in things. We're maybe feeling a little down and I don't know, disillusioned or disheartened about life, about the things we're involved in. Maybe it's not going the way that we would like. I like how she's like underneath the giant mushroom here. She's like hiding away and head in her arms and not really looking at. She's not really looking at anything. She's got the cups here that represent her emotional and spiritual connections, perhaps, that she's got in her life at the moment. And she, they're not interested. They're not looking at that. They perhaps more or less going inward and feeling what's going on within themselves more than what's outside, what's going on around them. Sort of stuck in our own thoughts, very much in deep in our emotions, deep in thought, lost in our own self, and I don't know, having mixed feelings about it, not really feeling interested in connecting with what they have here around them. And here we have another sort of fey creature here with another shiny cup, but because this one here is hiding away, underneath, again, can't see what's going on. And even if, it disinterested in what's going on, they've sort of gone into their own world. And sometimes we can do that. We can get lost in our own inner world, in our feelings, and it sort of numbs us or disconnects us from the surrounding things and people and situations going on around us. And it's like there's another situation here, another connection being offered, an opportunity, but we, no interest in what they currently have, no interest in anything new. It can happen. And if that's the case for us at any time, even a time like now, the first thing I would say is we all have times like this, and it's okay. It doesn't mean that we're terrible people. It doesn't mean that, it's just a fact. It's just a situation in life where all we can do is just sit there. But there comes a point when we have to shake ourselves and somehow reconnect and look around. Sometimes we can be too self-involved in our own inner world I mean, yes, we should be self-aware. Yes, we should connect with our emotions. Yes, we should be aware of our thinking, etc. All of that is necessary, and but to sort of almost, is it wallowing in it the right word to say? Allowing it to take over and cause a disconnection with the things in life that we normally would connect with, the people in life we normally connect with. Sometimes we can allow that to go too far. Yes, by all means, deal with your feelings honestly and realistically and authentically as much as possible. But don't let it blind. We shouldn't let it blind us to what we have and what the opportunities being presented to us. We've been talking quite a lot about new opportunities being presented to us. But if we are too introspective, we could miss out on seeing some of those opportunities being presented to us. And this is just a little advisory sort of caution here from the Four of Cups, saying don't let it get to that stage. And if you feel yourself in that stage, find some way to bring yourself out of yourself and to reconnect, even in some small way to start with, to begin to pull yourself out from that. Because it's when we do that, then we begin to see the opportunities that we face and realize that, it brings a freshness. We've been talking about bringing a newness, a freshness into our life situations, and we don't feel as if it's there, but it is if we could just see it. And we've talked about seeing things by altering our perspective, haven't we? When we had the hanged man or hanged woman in this deck, about shifting our viewpoint. And maybe that's part of what will bring you out of this feeling, is by trying to shift your viewpoint from being too heavily looking inwards and to take a fresh look outwards to what's going on, and maybe with discernment spot the opportunity you're being given in the situation. And when we start to embrace that opportunity, it can have an effect on how we feel in general and bring us out of this feeling. So be willing just to begin to come out of yourself a little and look around and see what's there, and trust what's being offered to you, the opportunity that's being offered to you. You may not have full enthusiasm for it to start with, but at least take those initial steps and give it a go and see what happens. And who knows what changes it might begin to evoke within you. And I feel that that is the message of the Four of Cups. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Aromatherapy. Well, without looking at the verse underneath, just as yet, the very thing of aromatherapy is about stimulating our senses through aroma. Once again, didn't quite record the very end of the video for some unknown reason, but that's the fun of making videos. So anyway, we were talking about the aromatherapy oracle card, and we were talking about how aromatherapy can stimulate the senses, the sense of smell, and that can evoke all kinds of things as well. That smell can be very good at sort of provoking memories. Is very good at evoking memories that are associated with that smell. It's one of the key things of memory recall, that if you smell something, it casts your mind back to a certain thing that you associate with that. Like, maybe if you smell cigar smoke, maybe it reminds you of a relative that always used to smoke cigars, etc. Or a certain perfume is similar to one your grandmother used to wear, or something like that. It evokes that kind of memory. So aroma, smell, scent, fragrance, whatever it may be, incense, perfume, it's very good of stimulating your senses and connecting your senses, connecting your feelings, and with what's going on around you. It stimulates that connection, and that can help then restore this connection that you've lost through whatever reason, that you're just so wrapped up in something, and so nothing of it is of interest to you. No connection holds any stimulus for you. So there's a need to bring something in, to look around, and to maybe go for a walk in nature, get the natural sense of nature, flowers, trees, and other, the grass, even when it's rain, the smell of the rain, at a certain time of year it has a certain smell, doesn't it? There's a name for it, and I forget it now. It begins with P. I think it's usually during when it's sunny and it rains on the grass and there's the rain. It's a certain smell to it that evokes certain sort of feelings and everything as well. So look for connection. Look around. Try and bring yourself out of that feeling, or being too wrapped up in yourself. Yes, you need to be connected to your feelings, as I said, but it's that bridge. You need to bridge that with what's going on around you. And the way to do that is through different stimulations, like natural stimulations. I'm not want of a better word. Go and walk somewhere where you can smell and breathe the air, and it sort of reconnect with the world around you. And that connection then can help bridge yourself to other connections that need to be made. And then you'll begin to see, once those connections begin to reconnect, you'll begin to see the new opportunities on offer that you couldn't see before. They will shift your perspective enough to see them. And that is the message of the cards today. So that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 15. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay, bye-bye.